worked with Russian leaders for decades. I sat across the negotiating table going all the way back to Soviet Premier Alexei Kosygin to talk arms control at the height of the Cold War. I've always spoken directly and honestly to you, the Russian people. Let me say this if you're able to listen. You, the Russian people, are not our enemy. I refuse to believe that you welcome the killing of innocent children and grandparents, or that you accept hospitals, schools, maternity wards, for God's sake, being pummeled with Russian missiles and bombs, or cities being surrounded so that civilians cannot flee, supplies cut off, and attempting to starve Ukrainians into submission. Millions of families are being driven from their homes, including half of all Ukraine's children. These are not the actions of a great nation. Of all people, you, the Russian people, as well as all people across Europe, still have the memory of being in a similar situation in the late 30s and 40s. The situation in World War II, still fresh in the minds of many grandparents in the region. Whatever your generation experienced, whether it experienced the siege of Leningrad or heard about it from your parents and grandparents, train stations overflowing with terrified families fleeing their homes, nights sheltering in basements and cellars, mornings sitting through the rubble in your home. These are not memories of the past, not anymore. It is exactly what the Russian army is doing in Ukraine right now. March 26, 2008, just days before, we're at the 21st, you were a 21st century nation with hopes and dreams that people all over the world have for themselves and their families. Now, Vladimir Putin's aggression have cut you, the Russian people, off from the rest of the world. He's taking Russia back to the 19th century. This is not who you are. This is not the future you deserve for your families and your children. I'm telling you the truth. This war is not worthy of you, the Russian people. Putin can and must end this war. The American people will stand with you and the brave citizens of Ukraine.
To call Biden a criminal. Why is that?
He is a criminal. He's a criminal. He got caught. Read his laptop. And you know who's a criminal? You're a criminal for not reporting it. You are a criminal for not reporting it. Let me tell you something. Joe Biden is a criminal, and he's been a criminal for a long time. And you're a criminal in the media for not reporting it. Good luck, everybody. Have a good day.
A dictator bent on rebuilding an empire will never erase the people's love for liberty. Brutality will never grind down their will to be free. Ukraine will never be a victory for Russia, for free people refuse to live in a world of hopelessness and darkness. We will have a different future, a brighter future, rooted in democracy and principles, hope and light, of decency and dignity, of freedom and possibilities. For God's sake, this man cannot remain in power.
presence here in Brussels this week at the NATO summit, at the G7 and at our European Council sends a very powerful message to the world. The transatlantic partnership stands stronger and more united than ever. And we are determined to stand up against Russia's brutal war. This war will be a strategic failure for Putin. Our cooperation on the 4 successive waves of sanctions against Russia has been extraordinary and exceptional. The sanctions are now working their way deep into the Russian system, draining Putin's resources to finance this atrocious war. Our work on sanctions also shows that when we act together, we're stronger and we really can make a difference. And we are continuing to reinforce our cooperation in many strategic ways. On humanitarian and security assistance to Ukraine, on energy, on fighting the threats against our democracies, on solving outstanding issues in the EU-US cooperation, including in data protection and privacy. In a world faced with disorder, our transatlantic unity upholds fundamental values and rules that our citizens believe in. Let me focus first on refugees. Until now, around 3.5 million people have left Ukraine. Half of them children. Every second refugee is a child. And the numbers will keep rising. So, together, we are mobilizing massive resources to support those displaced by the conflict, be it in Ukraine or in the neighboring countries. Just this week, for example, I announced that the European Union will
really specifically to this one. It's been good. We're now, in my view, on the edge, falling from a cliff. And on that cliff is the American flag. And we are plummeting. We are about to lose sight of that flag. We don't get this thing. Everything.
Bastante fuerte y bastante nacionalista, yo diría que agresivo también. ha dicho que la situación en el este de Ucrania es crítica y ha pedido que cesen todas las operaciones militares por parte de Ucrania. Y ha hablado de Ucrania, literalmente ha dicho que es un país que no se puede autogestionar y no es un estado independiente por la falta de recursos, del estado de guerra en el este del país, la corrupción y la dependencia económica de países como Estados Unidos. Otro punto por el cual el presidente Putin ha reconocido la independencia de la República del Donbass es por la situación militar. Esta misma mañana los separatistas prorrusos mandaron un mensaje pidiendo ayuda militar urgente para defenderse de Ucrania. Y recordemos también, Silvia, que hace apenas una semana en rueda de prensa junto al canciller alemán Olaf Scholz, Vladimir Putin calificó la situación en la República del Donbass como genocidio, palabras bastante fuertes. Eso sí, desde Moscú dicen que este reconocimiento de independencia no significa que vayan a anexionarse la República del Donbass, eso es lo que dicen por lo menos, pero la comunidad internacional cree que es tan solo un pretexto para entrar militarmente y tomar la República. Por último, quiero decir que esta misma mañana nos informaron de una reunión este jueves 24 de los ministros de Exteriores de Estados Unidos y de Moscú, Lavrov y Antony Blinken, en Ginebra para tratar, entre otras cosas, una reunión cara a cara entre Putin y Biden. Bueno, esta reunión este jueves en Ginebra está ahora mismo en el aire.
Oscar, ¿y cómo está la situación allá en las calles de Kiev? ¿Qué ambiente se vive tras el anuncio de Putin?
Bueno, ahora mismo en las calles de Kiev, como toda esta semana que llevo aquí, se vive esto con bastante tranquilidad. Yo creo que aún no se cree que vaya a haber una guerra o por lo menos Putin vaya a invadir. Pero sobre todo la guerra que sufrimos aquí los medios de comunicación es la guerra de la desinformación. Ahora mismo te cuento que, según parece, suenan las sirenas en la República del Donbass y han pedido a todo el mundo que se refugie. Parece ser que ha habido 2 detonaciones importantes hace unas cuantas horas. También esta misma mañana Rusia ha informado de que ha matado a 5 soldados, ha abatido a 5 soldados y además...
Esta historia trata de un hecho real. Mientras el mundo occidental es distraído por la industria de Hollywood y los medios de comunicación occidentales, el planeta Tierra está a 10 minutos de una guerra nuclear sin precedentes históricos en nuestra historia.